Alright, so this is a review on the EP Scary Hours 2 by Drake. The artwork is basically a very basic artwork. It's as simple as that. It's very basic. Um, I don't know what Drake was trying to do here, but it might have been one of them ones was like, you know what, the album is coming soon, but listen, hold this for a while. Just hold this for a while, and the album's coming soon. Don't worry, we're just gonna probably re-record new songs, probably get a feature from Bobby Smurda, that because that's what I've been waiting on. Blah blah blah. No, I'm playing. I don't know. I don't know what he's been waiting on. You know, sometimes artists would hold on to music to see if it has that same feel, and if it don't have that same feel after a few months or after a few years, they change it up. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes they just scratch the whole album and redo a new album. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah. Anyway, so there's like three tracks in there. So there's What's Next. Then there's Wants and Needs featuring Little Baby. Then there's Lemon Pepper freestyle featuring Ricky Rose or Rick Rose. Like I can't call him Rick Ross. The reason why is because I immediately think of, you know, the I don't even want to call him a drug kingpin because that'd be false for now, because let's just say he was a drug kingpin, and you know what I mean, it is what it is. If you know his story, you know his story. But yeah, so, and he's doing right, he's correcting the wrongs he's done in the past, in it. So and anyway, yeah, my thing about this here in terms of the lemon pepper freestyle, I put it this way, yeah. I like the rhythm itself, but my thing is, are they really freestyling, or it's just something they wrote real quick and then they called it a freestyle? That's what I want to know. I want to know, is it really a freestyle? Yeah, like that's all I want to know. Is it really a freestyle? That's it. Because you know what's bad, yeah? I remember I was watching something, like was something to do with some rappers and stuff like that, and then they had their phone, they're using their phone as the obviously reading or lyrics on their phone, and then they're calling it a freestyle. That's not a freestyle. That's just written lyrics. You wrote those lyrics, maybe on your way there. Do you see what I'm saying? That's not a freestyle. A freestyle is literally off your dome. Like literally off your dome, there and then. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how do I explain it? So I'm not trying to criticize Drake or Rick Ross, or like I said, I can't even call him Rick Ross. I'm just saying in general. So the rhythm's cold. I wouldn't really, you know, say whether their bars were good or not. It's hard to really explain. But one thing I did like about What's Next is, you know, What's Next is probably my favorite track on this EP. And that's mainly because one, it's by himself. Two, I like the fact that he's just keeping it real. It's like, give me, I spent this amount of time at my house in summer or whatever, or I did this, I did that. What's next? Do you know what I mean? Like, cause I guess it's one of those things where someone asks you a question, and it's like ask where you've been or what you're doing next, blah blah blah. It's just that frustration type of thing. Like, you're asking what's next. This is what I do. Like, I'm just living my life as normal. And I think was it that song or was it Wants and Needs? He mentioned something that was really interesting. He mentioned that something about growing into being a boss. And I think that's key, yeah? So big up Drake for mentioning that, yeah? I don't know what track it was on, but big him up for mentioning that, because it's true. It's true, you have to grow into being a boss. Whether you're a man or a woman, you have to grow into that. That's why you got to continue to learn and learn and learn. Obviously, yeah, you're going to inevitably learn through experience, but if you can learn from another viewpoint, then do so. Yeah? Because, listen, there's been I don't want to say hella mistakes, because that sounds mad, but like, there's been a few lessons that I've made in the past 12 months, yeah, when it comes to being a boss. At first I thought, oh, I'm gonna be similar to Gary Vaynerchuk, be all, you know, what's the word? More passive, more, do you know what I mean? More passive and like sympathetic and stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna go for. Like, and that shit don't work. That don't work. It doesn't even match up to my personality either. Like, it doesn't. You may think, oh, I'm a nice guy, this, that, and the third, because I'm not. Technically, I'm not a nice guy because nice means silly, even though the real meaning of nice. But the point I'm trying to make is the best manager, the best leader, the best bosses are ruthless. And sometimes, from childhood as well, I've been told, in fact, I won't say I'm a bully, yeah? But in my social work file or social care file, whatever they want to call it, they have mentioned that I'm a bully, innit? So, that's how you gotta be sometimes. Come across as if you're a bully. It's all about respect. You see what I'm saying? Respect. If you don't respect me, then how do I expect you to have loyalty towards me and my organization and, bring the best out? How? Do you see what I mean? So, it's not about being friendly and understand. Like, I don't give a... Listen, all I'm going to say is, like, I'm still learning, innit? You know what I mean? So, obviously, I'm still going to grow my team. Don't get it twisted. There's been a few things that I've pushed aside before growing the team again. But when I get round to it, I know what I'm doing next. I'm still learning in the same process, but I know what I'm going to do next. Like, I'm literally, I feel myself growing into it. I feel myself growing more into the boss that I want to be, because you have to be, like, think about it, a boss with, basically, a boss is more masculine. They're more dominant. Do you know what I mean? They're not necessarily always aggressive, but they're aggressive when they need to be. Do you see what I mean? When they need to show people or show employees or whatever, like some, discipline. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to be ruthless. Sometimes you have to say, fuck your feelings. You know what I mean? Like, you want to fuck about? You want to take the piss? Alright. You have these warnings. You were warned. Now out. You know what I mean? And replace them. Is what it is. That's just one aspect of it. There's levels to it. There's other levels to it. It's like, if they're not, for example, doing the work to a high standard that they were at before, then, you've got to remind them that, you've got to do this to the high standard. If not, it's like, for example, I don't know what I'm talking about being a boss now, but anyway, like, for example, with Roman Abramovich, this is the best example I can give for now, right? He owns Chelsea Football Club, right? And what's interesting to me is how people consider him as ruthless, because he has basically managers rolling in and out. It's mad the amount of managers that Chelsea have had since he's started to own Chelsea Football Club. And you know what? No one can fault him, because it works. If the results are not going the way that he feels it needs to go, irrespective if he has a lot of respect for that person, for example, with Super Frank, yeah, the highest scoring midfielder for Chelsea Football Club, it's like, well, when he became manager, the results weren't really going his way, innit? So he had to sack him. Now, some may say, oh, that was ruthless, he should have got more time, this and the third. To be honest with you, I don't think he was really ready for the job yet, because he was only in management for it was only in management for one season before he got hired to be Chelsea Football Club manager, which is wild to me. But anyway, this I don't want to go into the story of his tenure at Chelsea or whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is he sacked him, got someone else that's new. Then the results the results. The season ain't over yet according to this video. So come back end of May, and we'll see what the results are, and you can see whether, you know, he was right to sack Frank Lampard. But the point I'm trying to make is leadership is something you have to grow into sometimes. You're not just born a leader. I just go off into a whole tangent about being a leader. Thank you, Drake. Nah, for real though, it's true. So big up Drake for that. I'm not honestly, because it's made me realize even more. Like it's highlighted the importance of you know, making sure that you're continuously learning. You know. But anyway, back to the EP. I don't know when he's going to release his album. I thought he was going to release it in February, but here we are in flipping April. We probably release it in May. Who knows? So maybe he'll release it in summer and have a summer season, or maybe he's waiting for the whole pandemic situation to be over, so he can really celebrate his album in style by going off on tour properly. Maybe it's that. I don't know, but I think now is the perfect time to release the album anyway, because what's going to happen is people are there to listen, and we know Drake in the streaming numbers, like he's breaking all sort of records, isn't it? Like, I mean, the streaming era is like still a new era, but like he's breaking all sort of records, isn't it? So it is what it is. Cause yeah. Anyway, the link. Before I even get to that, I'll go off into a whole tangent about being a boss. But if you want to learn more, especially on how to deal with your emotions and your problems effectively, because that's part of it as well, click the link in the description box below where it says become a member of the Thealkebulantrust. You will get access to online courses such as healthcare, and that's where you're going to learn all of that information there. Also, I wanted to give this EP a 7.5 out of 10. The only reason why, because I feel like Drake could do one. I always feel like he can do better when he does these sort of things. But yeah, he can do better, and I just my main concern is the freestyle. Is that really a freestyle? But you know what I mean? I need to know properly whether that was a freestyle. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know. Like, in hip hop, for me, I think that's key information. Like, is that really a freestyle, or is that just something that you're calling a freestyle? Yeah. And that goes for any MC or rapper or whatever that want to label freestyle. Is it really a freestyle now? Anyway, got any other suggestion? So the link to the EP is in the description box below. If you've got any other suggestions what to review or react to next, leave that in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. If you don't see that clearly, the link is in the description box below, or it's also in the pinned comments. Alright, so if you've got any other suggestions, leave that in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because you never know the video you suggest might just be next.